What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 40 of Littleroot Lessons. As always, I'm your host, Carter Noble, joined by our fantastic co-host, Carl Wilkin. What's up, man?
We're about a month into our Series 7 stint here, which I believe ends sometime in February.
I believe, we run through the end of January, and then Series 8 will officially start February 1, is what they've said.
So now that we have at least a month's worth of data here for sets, we can look and see what's kind of just disappeared from Series 6 and Series 5.
This was an idea I had early on in the series, and Carl's like, hey, we should probably let this develop a little more before we can actually say what's changed, what hasn't. But my tentative idea for this episode's title was, hey, whatever happened to blank? So that's really the question we're going to be asking is, what happened to this Pokemon, and why is it not being played nearly as widely as it has in the past?
Yeah. So, we'll start off with the first Pokemon here. We have Porygon Z lined up here first, a very staple Series 6 Pokemon that was seeing some play at the end of Series 5.
So, I think Porygon Z saw more usage in Series 5 when we went back to it in the Players' Cup 2. Like, there was a lot of PZ. Granted, I was also playing it, so in my experience, it felt like there was a lot because there was in literally every battle.
True.
But I feel like PZ really popped off in popularity after a lot of the bigger threats disappeared, and this was your staple hyper-aggressive threat of the format of, like, this and Dragonite also lines up really well in the same slot, where these are the two most offensive threats we can come up with. And, like, PZ also, because it has adaptability, it holds Life Orb, you can just do a ton of damage with it. And, like, I was pairing it for Players' Cup 2, I was pairing it with Whimsicott and Fake Tear, so I didn't even need Life Orb to pick up KOs. So instead, I'm just like, alright, Expert Belt, I guess, for that little extra oomph if we need it.
Yeah.
So, Porygon Z was really good, and if you look at, like, Victory Road's page of, like, rental teams, there's
a slew of them.
There's Series 6 teams that are labeled, like, hyper-aggressive, great for beginners. Like, a good chunk of them are just PZ teams.
Like, here's Porygon Z plus X support Pokemon. Go.
Yep. PZ Clef was real good.
Yep.
Because you redirected the hits from PZ, you O-coded the threat that was a threat to Clefairy, and then you were set up. Your goal was to take 3 KOs in 3 turns.
Yeah, you mentioned Dragonite. Dragonite kind of does the same kind of thing where Hustle plus Life Orb means you just deal a tremendous amount of damage whether you are either Dynamax or out of Dynamax. I know I was a big proponent of Dragonite early on in like Series 3 when Lapras was popular.
Yep.
Because you can just Bolt Beak it and OHKO it as long as you hit the Bolt Beak. After it goes big. Like, it will OHKO still.
I know there was a couple different variations of a Direct Result team that that I played on laddering that were like we had Life Orb, we had Assault Vest, we had Weakness Palsy one week. Like, it every time just felt like, all right, this is the biggest threat in the one of the biggest threats in the format. Mm-hmm. Deal with it.
Yeah.
And like the other threats in the format, you know, like PZ had Ice Beam, but if you're Assault Vest, you just take it.
Yeah.
Urshifu couldn't hit it.
Nope.
Like, you resist. Well, you don't resist, but you just take the hits from it. And because you have Aerial Ace, you can just one-shot it back.
I'm about to say, yeah. It's
and then become faster than it on the follow-up.
Exactly, you just blow it up.
And, like, if you pair this with Clef, again, like, one of the best support mons of the previous format, you just don't care.
Yep.
You just redirect the hit, or you take it because of Friend Guard, and then just turn around and OHKO them back.
Yep. So, both these Pokemon, like we've been describing them, are very hyper-offensive, and they probably fell off mostly due because it's just like, we got Cinderace back, we got Dragapult back, we got new offensive threats in most of the sub-legendaries and Glastrier and Spectrier, and there's just better offensive threats now compared to what Dragonite and Porygon Z were doing.
Yeah, that's I mean, honestly, the honest truth, not only are the offensive threats better, but the defensive walls are also better. Like,
yeah. it just everything just compounded on top of itself when a new series, when a new DLC comes out, you get all these new Pokemon. You got Metagross, you got Glastrier, who's very, very bulky for no goddamn reason.
Like, what can PZ do against a Metagross? We have Dark Pulse, right? We get
you get Dark Pulse and I think Shadow Ball.
But, like, you're not getting the stat drop. You can't fake Tears it.
No.
And it looks at you and goes, alright, well, I guess
you proc my policy.
I'm just gonna Quake you back.
You activated my trap card. Giddy. Literally, that's literally what it is.
What's even better about that is I started watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Again today. Tiff and I went and bought a new TV, so we set up Hulu and Netflix and everything on it, and it's just like, alright, cool. She's gonna go lay down, take a nap. I'm gonna sit here and turn something on. Hey, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, I haven't watched that in a while.
That works. So both these hyper-offensive Pokemon kind of just fell off because other hyper-offensive threats came back to the format or are just a better choice compared to what we have here for these two.
I think, like, the biggest one is, like, Metagross. To be 100% honest, you just don't deal with it as efficiently as everything else does.
Yeah.
Dracozolt doesn't like Landorus in the format, having both Intimidate and being able to hit you super effectively while also outspeeding you. Like,
yeah,
that's a really big hindrance. Notably, Dracozolt also got Sandrush now, which is cool when you want to pair it with, like, Tyranitar. The problem there is like, you lose your damage output with Hustle.
Yeah, Hustle was the big thing that put you over the top, because you only have a base 100 attack.
Yeah, that's what put Dracozolt over the top compared to Draco Vish. Because Vish needed Scarf to outspeed stuff with Vicious Rens, whereas Dracozolt could just Dynamax, Airstream you, and then be faster with Bolt Beaks in the end game.
Yeah. Which, now we're seeing the inverse happening, because you don't have to have Scarf on Dracovish anymore, because Tyranitar sets Sand for it, and Sand Rushes double your speed.
You can just...
Now it gets to do the Life Orb, I can Dynamax, whatever I want to do nonsense.
So it's weird that these mons that are built super similarly now are inverse to what they were doing, because the same ability.
Yeah. Yeah, access to your hidden ability just flipped it on its head. Porygon Z is more, I think, just because, like you said, Metagross, we got Dragapult back. There's more ghosts. So you can't take advantage of your adaptability hyper beams into things all the time.
Yep. And, like, not only that, but because you do have, like, Clear Body on Metagross, you can't drop its speed. You have stuff like Tornadus in the format, so Tailwind is back. Whimsicott is back, so you have Tailwind. So
everything's going to outspeed you eventually.
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Is things are faster now, so Porygon has a harder time trying to keep up with them.
Yeah,
they're bulkier, so it has a harder time picking up KOs when it does get to attack. Mm-hmm. It's crazy because this is a mon that was, I think, at one point like 20 or 30% of the metagame.
It was pretty close.
And now it's less than 0.5%.
Yeah.
So, granted, I would love to look at the Series 6 stuff on Pikalytics, but it wouldn't load. Numbers were really weird for me. Yeah, see, this is what it was doing for me. It was showing Delmise at 76%, and that just cannot be correct.
Yeah, that feels incorrect.
Because stuff like Porygon is at, 0% or something absurd.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is what it was doing on mobile for me, too, where you couldn't look at things.
Something's been up with Pikalytics for the past couple of days. Probably they're doing something in the background.
Yeah, who knows? They'll figure it out, and it'll be alright.
Speaking of Sandrush users, moving on to the next Pokemon on the list here, Excadrill. Why is Excadrill gone? Rotom is super popular again.
You want the honest answer? Feeny.
Yeah, for the most part.
Feeny's a really good answer to it.
Yeah.
And doesn't care about its stab Iron Heads. It just shakes it off.
Yep.
When you're also pairing that with better Intimidate Mons with Incineroar and Landorus being in the format now. Incineroar got banned, right?
In
Series 6? Was it banned?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And Rillaboom.
Yeah, you're right.
and Cinderace and all of those starters.
Not Primarina.
Yeah, not Primarina, which, again, we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, so Excadrill having Intimidate be a problem again. Well, Excadrill was also banned in Series 6.
Yeah.
So, it kind of has similar problems to what it did in Series 5, where Intimidate's really good against it.
Yep.
It can be outsped by threats.
Yep.
Like, Cinderace is back, Dragapult is back. Eliki obviously, like, can't touch it, but, like, you probably aren't leading Eliki if you see an Excadrill on the opponent's side.
Usually you're not going to just, like, here's my Regieleki against your Excadrill. Oh, I just gave you a free knockout. Okay.
Like, this is a Pokemon that was so popular in Series 5 it ended up getting banned.
Yep.
And now it's less than 3% of the meta.
Yeah.
And, like, granted, it can still do things with Tyranitar. Like, sure, you can have Sandrush. Mold Breaker's the big thing, if you want my honest opinion.
Yeah, using it as a Mold Breaker Pokemon to beat up Rotoms is actually a really good idea.
Especially with how popular Heat has been here lately. Being able to just come in and, like, high horsepower them seems fantastic.
Yeah.
The problem is like, if you try to get a switch in, you're probably going down to Sash.
Most likely, yeah. You're just not bulky enough to take a hit.
I would honestly be interested in exploring Excadrill a little more in this format, just to see the true problems that it actually has. Because, like, it kind of lines up well against some of the popular threats, like, right now. Notably, like, Heatran and Metagross, Rotom Heat, like you said. Like, those are all pretty dominant threats right now. But the problem is like, everything else.
Yeah. Tapu Fini being the big one.
Tapu Fini, Landorus, like, you're sure you can have Landorus on the field already and switch into Excadrill, but then you're taking a hit potentially.
Usually an Earthquake.
Which is going to hurt. You can't Earthquake them back. You can't Rock Slide them because it's neutral. They resist Iron Head.
Yep.
Like, what are you doing to Landorus?
Nothing.
What are you doing to Celesteela?
Nothing.
What are you doing to Moltres? You have Rock Slide.
You have Rock Slide.
Yeah, you have Rock Slide.
You can hit the Moltres, but Moltres is another one that's kind of fallen off popularity here this past couple weeks at least.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it on ladder the last probably week or so. I know Jeff and I played with it a couple weeks back now, but I don't think we've actually ran into it the last couple streams.
It's a new toy factor is starting to diminish. We're seeing a lot of Cinderace starting to come back. We're seeing a lot of the other Pokemon starting to tick up.
Which, I mean, that's fine. Like,
yeah. People
have gotten over the idea of, all right, everything's new, I want to play with everything, and now it's actually, the format is actually settling, and that's why I think the big turning point for that was the Nihilego, Urshifu, Tornadus, like that core being discovered and like actually being played, and people realized, all right, this is the most offensive thing in the format that we need to deal with. How do we beat it? And that's really
the step we're on, is how do you beat this instead of I just need to do my thing.
Yep, and that's like the start of like any competitive format. It like even when we played Magic competitively, like Legends of Runeterra is basically the same way. Like all these card games is okay. I want to play with the new stuff for a little bit. Okay, now we want to focus on what's the most offensive thing we can do, and then how do we slow the game down to be able to play a more mid-rangey controlling format, and still be able to deal with this aggro team if possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, now that we know what the aggro team actually looks like, we can figure everything else out.
Yeah. You got your building blocks. You can work your way up now.
You don't start playing a format playing a control deck.
No. Control decks never do well at the beginning of the formats. It's just like common knowledge.
There's a reason.
More Tapu Fini fodder. Primarina. Our premier water fairy before Tapu Fini came out, came back to us, was Primarina, and now it's just gone. You don't even see Primarina very much anymore because Tapu Fini just does it better.
Yeah.
That's honestly the long and short of it. It's like,
that's the honest to God's truth about it. And like even if you go into like Gen 7, you didn't see Primarina as popularly as you did Incineroar because Fini was legal. You still saw Primarina. It was still a Pokemon that was played, but not nearly as widely, especially once Liquid Voice came out. Like,
yeah.
it was a mon that you could play, but nowhere near like you do Fini now.
Like, looking at stats between Primarina and Tapu Fini, they got fairly similar HPs, fairly similar attacks. Primarina has very lackluster defense in comparison to Tapu Fini, but vice versa, Primarina's special attack is much higher than Tapu Fini's, and then special defense is comparable. It's 130 Tapu Fini to 116 base for Primarina, and then Tapu Fini is much faster.
Yeah, it's HP, like you said, pretty comparable. Tapu Fini is much bulkier. Primarina has that offensive power, but I think something that would actually benefit Primarina right now in this format is something like Colossal becoming popular again.
Yeah.
Being able to Aqua Jet and do Colossal
having a support Primarina where it can actually do other things besides just try to be offensive pressure all the time would definitely help it out a lot, because Tapu Fini can't do that.
Have you seen the flip turn Swampert team running around with Cinderace?
Yeah.
I could see Primarina filling that role too.
Yeah.
Because in that team, you have the choice scarf Swampert to outspeed, but you could also just play like, I don't know. I was gonna say Specs, but you probably don't want Specs. But you could play like Assault Vest Primarina on that team, and Aqua Jet into Cinderace to trigger policy, or have it be a Dynamax threat with Moonblast, Hydro Cannon, Hyper Voice, and just run people down. You probably want ice coverage in this format.
Yeah, it's almost guaranteed you have to have that now.
Yep. The big problem with Primarina is like, how do you hit these other threats? Like, how do you deal with a Metagross?
You don't.
Try to outlive it?
You don't deal with Metagross very well.
Yeah, you get hit neutrally from Steel Spike, but that's gonna hurt.
Your low defense means you just melt in front of Metagross.
You can't hit it super effectively.
Nope.
And if you can, it's... I cannot think of an attack that it has that can hit it super effectively.
Does it get Weather Ball? We can set up Sun and hit it with a Weather Ball.
It does actually get Weather Ball.
You can do that.
That's something that Cybertron did in the WBE. He had Weather Ball Primarina.
You can do that.
That's not the stupidest thing I've heard.
Yeah, like, Primarina, again, it's just... Fini does it better. There's not much need for the fact that, like, priority Aqua Jet and things like that, which, like you said, if Colossal becomes popular again, which it is back on the rise here, it'll definitely get back into being a proper Pokemon.
I'd be interested in... Like, these are all mons that historically I've enjoyed playing with. It's just because the format has shifted so dynamically, it makes it harder for these mons to exist in the current format. So these are things that I would like to see come back and be played with again.
Yeah.
But they're going to have to change and adapt to the times.
For sure.
And, obviously some of them are not going to be able to. There are some of these that, like, PZ is just not going to be able to hold up, unfortunately. So...
Yeah, it doesn't hold up like the rest of them does. PZ, I don't expect PZ to come back, like, probably ever.
Which sucks, man, because it's so fun. I love playing it. But it, like you said, it's just, things have moved on.
Yeah. I
would actually be interested in seeing just how much we can do with PZ against something like Moltres. And like all these other threats that are big in the format right now. Just see if like Helping Hand plus Life Orb is enough to pick up KOs on these things. Who knows? Probably not, but...
Yeah, I wouldn't hold my breath on those. So, the other big shift was redirection is just like non-existent now. Did you notice that?
For the most part, yeah.
You see... two specifically, and I believe it's Clefairy and Indeedee Female. And outside of that, the rest are gone. Notably, the big one, Togekiss, who was 50% of the 50+% for
how long?
For most of series 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, all the way up.
Yeah, 1 through 5, Togekiss was extremely popular, and even past that, it's like it wasn't always just a follow me you didn't always just click it.
Yeah.
There were definitely times where Scopeland, Superluck, Max Airstreams was correct.
Or weakness policy into Serene Grace Air Slashes at the end to just try to punch them out.
Yeah, or Dazzling Gleams. Like, those are things that were good.
Yeah.
So to go from 50% of a metagame to...
currently 5.
That's a drastic change, man.
Now, granted, the other way around, Tapu Fini is up to 55% now, according to Picolytics here. Granted, these are all showdown numbers. But, still, 5% from 56 is so far. Like, that goes from being almost every team you see at least one Togekiss to almost 0.
I think a big part of that as well is it feels like every team is equipped to deal with Togekiss now. Between, like, just stalling it out with Fini and muddy watering it, or calm minding in front of it, and, like, hoping it's not super luck. Like, if it's the Serene Grace support, you can outpace it all day.
Oh, yeah.
With Calm Minds and your Berry, you can sit in front of it all day and not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
Metagross Steel Spikes you. Meteor Mashes you. And after it's done Dynamaxing, you're not living those hits.
Regieleki got popular, and I'm pretty sure Togekiss does not survive most hits.
I can't imagine. I can't imagine this thing lives a Thunderbolt. Landorus. Rock Slide. Like...
everything carries incidental ice coverage now.
Because Landorus exists, yeah. I mean, look at Metagross's. Look at like the Dragonite you've been working on, like stuff like that. Incidental ice coverage is good.
Yep.
Because ice is a very good type offensively. It is a god awful typing defensively.
Yep.
Look like Glastrier. Glastrier looks at Togekiss and laughs.
Oh yeah.
How are you threatening that?
You're not. It's just going to OHKO you and then OHKO your partner after that.
Be like, alright, thanks for the free +1. Set my hail. Good day.
Bye-bye.
See you next time.
Like, there's just so many threats to deal with Togekiss well now that it just doesn't do anything. Plus, there's all that, like I said, extra incidental coverage from ice moves, steel moves, and things like that. Plus, there's been a bunch of electric types added with Tapu Koko and Regieleki.
Oh, yeah, like, we didn't even talk about Koko.
Yeah, Koko getting added means that there's just better fairy types and that do different things. And that's the other part of why Togekiss is getting pushed out. There's just better fairy types now. Tapu Fini, Tapu Koko. Lele and Bulu aren't really better than Togekiss, I would compare, but Fini and Koko definitely are.
Fini is definitely the, like, premier bulky fairy type. Koko is a very good offensive threat, and as I've showcased, is a very good defensive Mon. And then, like, you have Comfey, which is personally my favorite fairy in the format right now.
Yeah.
So, like, when you add in incidental recovery for your ally, mind games with ally switch, Trick Room, like, it does a lot of things. Like, Togekiss just seems insignificant, I think is the word I'm looking for here.
Probably. The other big overarching thing of this is just how little redirection there is in general in Series 7.
Like, you're not trying to do you're not setting up with Mons.
Yeah, the setup is usually proc a weakness policy and go nowadays, rather than try to, I'm going to click a Swords Dance, or I'm going to click Nasty Plot, or I'm going to click the status move and boost my stats. And
a part of that, like, Moltres' sake,
yeah,
you're bulky enough where you can set up a Nasty Plot in front of things if you need to.
Yeah.
Fini
saves away,
laughs at you and says, alright, I'm going to set up my Calm Mind now.
Sure, like, let's go. But yeah, like Pokemon like Amoonguss. Now, Amoonguss is 10%, and it's still fairly popular, but I think that's more that it's got Spore than it is the fact that it has Rage Powder.
You know what's, kind of on the same topic here? Another thing that's really fallen off of favor? Safety goggles.
Yeah.
I couldn't actually tell you the last time when in team building, I'm like, alright, I need to worry about Amoonguss, or I need to worry about Sand, or Hail, or something like that.
You don't have to worry about it with Tapu Fini now. You just set up Misty. It's just a good way to set up Misty.
Cool. There was a game when I was streaming with Jeff. where our opponent set up Coil with Milotic.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, well, they're going to try to put us to sleep. Let's just switch into Feeny. And they just hypnosis into that slot. I'm like, all right, cool, thanks. And then, like, our terrain wore out. I'm like, all right, back into Indeedee, which is already asleep. Back into Feeny. All right, cool, thanks. But what was great about it is they brought in Gyarados.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to Will-O-Wisp the Gyarados in terrain.
Yeah.
So chat's just like, what just happened? And so I had to explain it because Jeff is still fairly new. And so a lot of his chat is also incidentally new as well. New to the game, new to the format, and everything else. And whatnot. So that is something I didn't even think about until actually it happened. I'm just like, oh yeah, we can actually just burn Gyarados here. I didn't think about that. If that was any other mod, it would have been a problem. That game went on for what felt like literally 30 turns. Mm-hmm. Because just Milotic sat there and recover spammed. It's like, we don't care about you. We're not going to bother you. Go away.
Go away. Leave us alone. Notably, one of the more popular following users that's still here, Clefairy. I think Clefairy is here because Friend Guard is a thing.
Friend Guard's really good. Clefairy also lines up better as a redirection tool for Trick Room because you can have that after you effect if you really want it. Mm-hmm. Plus, like, Icy Wind's good, Helping Hand is good. Clefairy is doing a lot of things that are still incidentally good in the format.
Yeah.
And, that's one thing that I don't think we've really touched on, but anytime we see redirection in the format anymore, it just feels like for Trick Room.
Usually, yeah.
Past that, you don't need it. It just doesn't accomplish anything like it did in the past.
Yeah, like, most of the time when you see Trick Room, you'll see an Indeedee female somewhere alongside the Trick Room setter because follow me. And that's usually the long and the short of it. It's like Indeedee female Dusclops. You can't fake out anybody, and whatever you try to do to Dusclops is just going to come to Indeedee. There you go. Let's go. Which Indeedee's only at 7%, which is insane.
On the same page as Indeedee here, another mon that we're kind of improvising here for a second. Another mon that has extremely fallen out of favor. Hatterene.
Yeah.
Like, we're on the subject of Trick Room, redirection, stuff like that. Hatterene's nowhere to be seen. According to Showdown, it is currently 73%. 73 in usage. And on Switch, it's 2% of teams. And they're, like, Series 6 in particular, it felt like one of the premier Trick Room sweepers. Because you could set Trick Room yourself next to Indeedee, and then you just spam...
you could, not in Series 6, you could. Indeedee was banned.
Oh, you're right. In Series 5, my bad. Yeah. You would just set your Trick Room, and then click Expanding Force.
Yeah, you can't fake out it, you can't taunt it, you can parting shot it and get it away with it, but that's like a real
super niche case,
which is like a Alolan version and Incineroar. Once in a while, if they were playing Silvally.
Is there any prankster parting shot? Is that a thing that exists?
No.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of.
So yeah, like, those are... Hatterene has fallen out of favor because the Trick Room threats have just gotten better.
Stack Attack is a thing.
Glastrier is a huge thing. And so, like, those are the two big ones, Yeah. Looking here at Indeedee's, like, teammates, Glastrier and Stack Attack are the top 4.
Yep.
Next to Dusclops, imagine that. Like,
yeah, imagine that. Like, looking through other setters here, Cresselia is very high still.
Cresselia, I'm sure P2 is up there still.
P2's their Stack Attack. Nihilego is technically a Trick Room setter.
Technically, Whimsicott is.
You don't see it on Whimsicott.
It gets access to it.
You don't see it on Whimsicott very
often. But Carl, Prankster Trick Room, you can set it before your opponent does.
Yeah, but you can also get taunted. There's Porygon 2. Yeah, like, I don't, like, Hatterene's not even on this list, like, anywhere.
Yeah, it's way down here. Less than 2%.
In the same realm with Primarina. Who knew that all the other fairy types are getting pushed out of the format because Tapu Fini and Tapu Koko and all those other good fairies are in the format?
What a coinky dink.
But yeah, what else kind of just fell off the face of the earth?
Not so much recently, but compared to previous formats, Charizard. But that's been a thing for quite a while now. Charizard really fell off once Venusaur came into the format.
Venusaur is definitely a much better sun target.
Oh, and not only that, but you're also not doubling up on your fire coverage. Like having dual fire types is kind of not great.
Mm-hmm.
Lapras is another one that there for a while was extremely popular and has fallen out of favor here lately. And not saying it's unplayable, but it is definitely not something that goes, okay, in team building, I need to do calcs for Lapras.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that anymore.
You know, when you're calcing for the bulky Mons anymore, it's just Fini and Metagross are like the two that really just like I can't stress that enough. Those are the two that are the premier threats in this format that are also extremely bulky.
Yeah. Looking through some of these, Talonflame was a popular from Series 6.
Talonflame was popular because there wasn't really any better Tailwind setters.
Yeah, it was the Tailwind setter for Series 6, and now it's gone because we got Whimsicott back, and we got Tornadus now, and Thundurus, and Suicune, and... do I need to keep going?
Keep going. I want to see how many more you can name.
Let's see here. Latios.
I didn't know they got Tailwind.
I did.
I was going to say, your list is way more extensive than mine would have been.
I can't remember if Salamence has it now or not. I think it might have been a 2 move. I know Crobat got it when they fixed it, but I don't know if they fixed Salamence or not.
I couldn't actually tell you that.
Let's find out.
I've not played with Salamence nearly enough to be able to tell you, yes, this is something it does.
I don't see it. So no. It doesn't have Tailwind.
Did it previously?
I believe it was a 2 move. Like Zapdos.
So Crobat got it in its moveset,
Uh-huh.
but Zapdos didn't because they hate Zapdos.
Yes.
Cool.
Also, Zapdos would have been busted because if they gave it to Kanto Zapdos, they almost have to give it to Galarian Zapdos, and it makes 0 sense to give it to Galarian Zapdos.
We were talking about this on stream the other day, but previously Zapdos was pretty defensive, support oriented, and then you had your offensive moves were Hidden Power Ice and Heat Wave and Thunderbolt. You weren't ideally a sweeper, but you could be in the event you needed it on a team. Mm-hmm. Whereas now it's just alright, slap a Life Orb on it, Dynamax, bang.
Bang. I was just thinking about this. Another type is just more of a type you don't see very much. Fighting, just in general. It's all gone.
Yeah!
Conkeldurr is the big one that comes to mind here. Is this bulky, I just need something that deals in Trick Room. Here's Conkeldurr. It does really well in Trick Room, so if my opponent says Trick Room, I have something that deals damage, and it does really well outside of Trick Room because it has Mach Punch, and Guts Mach Punch still hits like a truck.
I think we ran into a Conkeldurr the first time I streamed with Jeff, but I think it Dynamaxed in front of us, and Flame Orb triggered, and then we just kind of ignored it, and then it died. I think it came down to Scizor versus it, and Scizor just has the extra oomph of Bullet Punch to take it out. Past that, I couldn't actually tell you the last time I saw Conkeldurr.
What else on here? Arcanine's just gone now. It was keeping up with Incineroar for a while. It was 10% to Incineroar is 30 something. Now it's just gone.
It honestly is a big proponent of power creep, it feels like.
Yeah, Arcanine just doesn't do as much as Landorus does, or damage output wise, it doesn't have the support of capabilities that Incineroar does because it doesn't have fake out, imparting shot.
Yep.
Arcanine wanted to be damage most of the time,
which is fine. You can still see it as I think we played it with a Assault Vest Bulldoze variant to trigger policy on something. That's fine. It's not the best thing, but you can do it. Yeah. But when you're Intimidate, it's not the go-to intimidator anymore. Another one that you just kind of passed. There was Jellicent. Jellicent was really good in like Series 1 and 2. Just died past that.
Dust in the wind.
Again, just one of those things that power creep really got to it, and as a result, how is Jellicent under Mime Jr.?
I don't know.
What?
Another one that you didn't see as often, but was still very popular, was Braviary as a Defiant, like, abuser. It's just gone. Thundurus just does a better job now.
Thundurus, Milotic for competitive. Granted, Milotic is basically because I've been playing it, and that's why it's in my mind, but...
Galarian Zapdos has Defiant and just does better things than Braviary does now.
There's also Bisharp if you want to go that route, which I bet Bisharp is higher than Braviary
it is.
in usage.
I saw it earlier. It is. It's in the upper.
Stab Sucker Punch is really good.
Yeah.
But past that, it doesn't really do anything.
You know, something that I thought about, like when we were talking about Redirect, you don't see any justified beat up anymore.
Nope.
It's just gone.
Which is weird.
Right?
It really,
because that's
really
the
is weird.
one thing you think would tick up is beat up justified strats, and instead they're just even more gone in the tank. Just they're not there. You got one of the fastest beat up users in Dragapult and Whimsicott back, and you don't see beat up at all.
I'm not gonna lie, I really want to build it now. I like being serious, because the format is in a position where it feels like this format doesn't feel as OHKO or be OHKO'd kind of format, but I kind of want to push that boundary of seeing how far in that direction we can go, and just really push it to the edge and force them to answer our threats. And that's something that Beat Up does extremely well.
Yeah.
Just being able to go, all right, here's my Terrakion. Okay,
bang.
Clap.
Yeah. Looking through this list, a lot of weather has just fallen off in general too. We were talking about Tyranitar earlier with sand. Torkoal Venusaur had fallen off and is starting to come back now.
Maybe it's just me, but there has to be a rental code running around somewhere with something.
There is.
But one of the laddering episodes, I ran into Venusaur, Torkoal, plus some other shenanigans twice in the same episode.
Back to back.
Like, this is really, really convenient because I just played this so I know what they're doing. I still lost.
Yeah. Goodra was really popular there in Series 6 and is now just gone.
Yeah, that was one of the big cores of like Goodra, Lapras, Comfey, and now you just don't see it at all.
I think that's more because we just got Moltres, which does a better impression of just being this, I can proc a policy, oh look, I have Berserk. I can just keep
Berserk. You're KO'd.
It's much better than trying to be a physical Goodra with Sap Sipper.
We ran into a Vikavolt while we were streaming too.
Yeah.
There was a Vikavolt Pheromosa team that we ran into, and we were playing Trick Room at the time, so I'm just like, alright, they're gonna speed swap us, cool, no big, they can speed swap their Vikavolt, that's fine. So we set up Trick Room just fine. And then they speed swapped my Dusclops. It's like,
Interesting.
So we reversed Trick Room and ended up KOing them with Nightshade Dusclops that was extremely fast.
I'm slowly loading the rest of these Pokemon. I think we're getting into the...
Yeah, we're getting into the unplayables now.
Yep. Poor Silvally Ground.
Ran into a Blissey.
Yeah.
That was another one that we ran into recently. Man, I absolutely, I don't think I've talked about this at all on the cast. I love Magmortar and Electivire. I love them both, but they are so bad.
Oh, yeah.
And I want them to be good, but they just aren't, man.
Yeah.
They are just so bad. But, like, if there was a team that had both of them on it and was actually, like, okay, I'd play it. I'm being serious. I would play it.
I'm pretty sure you could just give you anything. You'd probably play it at least once.
This is the goal for the listeners this week. I want an Electivire Magmortar team for next week. I want someone to do this, and I want to play it. Look, man, I get to call some shots here. I know you're like the boss man, and you get to run everything, but this is the one time I want to do something. And you're sitting there judging me.
Yeah. Because you can just get them both and run them heat.
But ice coverage.
Meh.
I still want to do it.
Yeah, that's kind of just like been the rundown. Something I think it was like I thought would be more popular is Regigigas and Galarian Weezing, and it's not very popular, I guess, on Showdown.
It's fine.
Like, if you don't have an answer for it, it runs you over.
I'm really honestly surprised Blacephalon's not more popular. It hits like a truck, man. It really does.
It's just super obvious of what it does, so you just like, oh, here's my Heatran. Give me the Flash Fire.
We had a game where opponent led Celesteela Blacephalon. Mm-hmm. Obviously, like mind blown, and we set up Trick Room, so they switched out. Trick Room was over, so they switched back in, and the Celesteela is still there. Just like, I bet they go for it again. So all three of us protected. No, I think two of us protected, and Dusclops was at like 2/3 HP. So Blacephalon KOs itself. We go down to like 20% and reset Trick Room. It's like, alright, thanks. You literally did nothing this game but KO'd yourself.
And that's why Blacephalon isn't played more.
I want it to be good, man, but it's so...
Oh, here you go. Here's what we didn't really talk about. Because this
I originally had it on the list of things to talk about.
Ferrothorn. Where did Ferrothorn go?
Your steel types are just better.
I guess.
Your steel types in the format are just better. Celesteela feels like a better...
It's a Ferrothorn with a ground immunity.
Yep.
Instead of being neutral.
Instead of being 4 times weak, you get an additional immunity. Like, instead of being 4 times weak to fire, you now get an immunity. You gain an electric weakness, which in this format actually means something.
Yeah.
But Celesteela gets to do the same thing while also having a more diverse move pool.
Flamethrower being a big one.
Flamethrower is a big one. Like, you can be specially oriented and run, like, Air Slash, I believe it gets. You can be physical and have, like, Heavy Slam. You can be a Dynamax target. And, like, obviously Ferrothorn could, too. Mm-hmm. But not nearly to the effect that Celesteela can.
Yeah.
You can play Celesteela outside of Trick Room. You can play it in Trick Room. That's honestly what it feels like, is the slow, laggy games that Ferrothorn wants to play, Celesteela just does better.
Yeah. I believe that's it.
I'm out of Mons that I want to talk about, so unless you see something else here...
I went through it and I don't see anything else. I believe that's it. Ferrothorn was what I just noticed on our way back through.
It was, like I said, it was originally on the list, and then I'm like, it's still at like 5% usage. That's about what it has been kinda here lately. It's lower, but not enough that I think it's insanely worthy of talking about compared to like Togekiss, but...
Yeah, Togekiss is what started this whole like episode today. It's
yep.
Like Togekiss going from very, very tippy top to gone. What else do we got going on? We have top 4 of Pokepod Cup coming up.
Yep, I know. Karibo and Xeno were playing theirs as we started recording. I haven't heard results from that yet. I bet they're in.
They're probably in.
Hey, they are.
We know we have
live on air 2-0 for Xeno.
Wow, did not expect that.
Karibo seems sweet. He sent me the Pokepaste and stuff for it, and I actually got to look it over.
I kind of like have inspiration from that because it's the core of the Suicune and Heatran and Rillaboom.
Yeah, it's great.
Which I'm gonna play with that tomorrow, Sunday. I'm gonna play with that on Sunday, which this comes out Monday, so then yesterday. Lettering
will come out Tuesday.
Yeah.
So, you're playing Sunday in the Gotcha. Now I'm following.
There you go. That's the team I'm playing for the Rumble.
I forgot we had a Rumble coming up, and I've been promoting it anywhere and everywhere I can possibly think of the last week. The finals are going to be interesting. We are 50% of the top 4.
Which is 10 times more than I thought we'd be. Going into it, not that I didn't have faith in anybody, but I knew the competition was going to be strong.
And, I mean, in reality, I don't think you could have a better top 4.
No.
Chase from ATX he's ran the tables, man. He's an insanely good player. And, like, if he ends up winning, that's completely fine.
Yeah. All 4 of these people,
they're all good.
Really good. Sever is our recent monotype draft league champion. Xeno was our first draft league champion we ever had.
Xeno went undefeated in the original draft league.
Yeah.
And so, like, immediately put a target on his back of just...
And then everybody came in. At that point, we went for the second one, and it was just a big old target on him, and he got hammered.
And that's when Evan came in and went undefeated in the regular season.
And then ended up losing.
He ruined my breakers to cause me to be 5th or 9th in breakers.
So you didn't get to make top cut there.
Nope. Not that I'm salty about it or anything.
Notably, Karibo was that draft league champion. So we had our 3 draft league champions all in top 8.
Yeah, which is
weird. Which is like weird coincidence at the time. But thinking about it now, it's just like, well, these are probably some of our better players.
Be like, these 3 guys that have won multiple tournaments among them
are all in top 8, which is not surprising at all now.
And then the only Pokesports player left who wasn't originally a Pokesports member.
He only reason he's a Pokesports he's repping Pokesports is because he knows them on YouTube.
Yep.
Which, it's not surprising. They're YouTube channels.
Massive compared to us.
Yeah.
But
like, they're about 600% more than we have.
Give it time.
We've grown
a lot here lately.
In the week, yeah. Well, however long it's been since I said we were at 100, we're now at 125.
Yep.
So it's...
I think I checked this morning, we were at like 128, which if we're not, that means people aren't subbing and they need to. So if you're listening on YouTube, hit the button. It makes me feel good about my life choices.
But yeah, so if we have a graphic for it, we'll have it on screen of the top 4. We might get Evan to do something for us for that, something fancy.
I bet we could probably talk him into it.
But yeah, all 4 of them have played amazingly. They're doing a great job. Super proud of our LRL guys. Just doing.
They've killed it, man.
50% conversion to top cut, making it into
50% of top 4. Like
that's great.
Yeah, they've absolutely killed it, and could not be prouder of each and every single one of them.
What really sucks is we've team killed twice.
Well, look, man, it just guarantees that we have a member in.
We managed to. There was at the very start, Sweden and Sever had to play each other, which that's a rematch.
I swear, they played like. It feels like 6 times in the last month.
Yeah,
I know it's not, but it feels like it.
And then, like, we just had Xeno and Karibo have to play each other to see who ended up moving in top 4. The fact that Xeno 2-0'd him makes me very confident that Xeno might make it in the finals. Because Karibo's team was very, very strong.
Ro just posted on Discord, he's like, so I might be getting a little ahead of myself, but I'm pretty sure either Jay Bucci or the closest to, Jay Bucci is the closest to the nearest international airport. So one of us need to go pick up Swede when he wins the tournament.
Swede, you're going to be moving to wherever. I don't know where. It's either Texas or
Missouri, I guess.
I got a room you can sleep in.
It's cheap rent.
Yeah, the same living cost in Missouri is very low.
We don't have like any good perks, but it's cheap.
It's similar weather, probably.
Maybe? Probably. This time of year, it's probably not. It's a little colder, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure it's colder up there than it is here.
I don't know, man.
They're a little bit farther north than we
Look, I'm a dumb American. I don't know anything about the world. I know my one little area of the world. That's about it.
But, yeah, so Rumble was, as of
as of this past weekend. So we're going to be talking about it next week.
We'll have data, which thankfully we're doing the same system we did for the Pokepod Cup.
Yep. So Tim can literally just run his program.
We just get to run the program, and here's all the data.
Have I mentioned how good it feels to just be like, yeah, we have data?
Yeah, no, that's great. I love being able to just have all this data. Plus, it's looking to be at least 20 people.
Yeah, we're going to have good numbers.
We're having people from Jeff's Discord. We're having people from the other Discords from Pokepod Cup come in and want to play.
Yeah, Pokepod, and then Swede posted it over in the ATX server, so we had a few of them come over.
I know they have an event the same weekend. The Winter
Texas Regional or something
whatever
like that.
It is, yeah. So they may not be able to play, but I know if they can, they would like to. Which first place and second place get hidden ability male shiny Nidorans that I caught on Pokemon Go and have grinded for ability patches for.
I told you what I wanted to do. You're like, nah, we'll save that.
Yeah, we're going to save that one for something special, but we also have door prizes, which I haven't told anybody what they are yet.
You haven't told me what they are yet.
Yeah, we did.
Did you?
Yeah.
I wasn't listening.
Yeah, I know you weren't. Which... the goal for door prizes is they're not going to be as good as the top prizes, but they're still going to be like decent. The goal is for this one is the shiny Grookey's, the 3 shiny Grookey's.
Gotcha. Mine?
2 of yours, 1 of
mine. Okay, cool.
Because I'm providing the 2 Nidorans too.
Gotcha. I know. Like I said, I knew we kind of talked about it, but I wasn't really listening. And then you said 3. I'm like, I have 3. Are those mine we're talking about?
I have 1 Overgrow, you had 2 Overgrow, and that was going to be the door prizes was Overgrow shiny Brookies because they're not going to be as good. You have to do a little bit of work for them.
But look, man.
It's a shiny.
You'll be fine.
Yeah, it's a shiny.
If you want to use it, cool. If not, sorry.
Like, cool, you still won something, be happy you won something, but yeah.
I think mine are both 5 IVs.
I know mine is.
I don't know what the minus is in.
Mine is special attack, I believe. It's on home. But speaking of Grookey, this team does what Karibo's team was doing, like we were talking about Suicune, Heatran, and Rillaboom Core.
Mm-hmm.
But I also have Comfey Dragonite as just like a scary lead to get them tricked into leading something that beats Dragonite Comfey, and I lead Suicune and Nidoking.
Nidoking is great, man. I am so excited you're getting to play with it.
I am very excited to be able to just beat people up with Nidoking.
Eliki looks at it and goes, well, I can't touch that.
I can hit that. The Tapu's look at it and is like, can I outspeed that? No.
And if I can, I need to one-shot it.
Landorus looks at it and is like, I'm dead. Landorus just goes down instantly. Mine is minus defense. Minus decent defense.
I forgot I haven't released all these.
Oh, God. Search by shiny.
I am. I forgot I can do that.
So, the goal here is to either do Dragonite Comfey things when it's good, or to do Suicune plus other Pokemon when it's good. Usually Suicune is paired with Nidoking, or Rillaboom, or Heatran, to just help either set up a Tailwind so my other partner outspeeds, or in the case of Nidoking, I click Scald or Snarl to help just kind of pick up chip damage where Nidoking can't pick up the KO. There's a couple spots where we get really close to OHKOing, and we just need that extra little oomph to get there. And then Rillaboom is basic Rillaboom. I think this is the set we've been using forever now.
This is the exact set I've been playing with, minus Fake Out. I have Taunt instead, right?
Yeah, like I think this is the 140 HP max attack, 20 defense, 4 special defense, and 92 speed to speed creep other Rillabooms.
Yep. It's been great. I've been extremely satisfied with this set.
Heatran, notable calcs on Heatran. We can OHKO a Metagross on a roll, but we can't be OHKO'd back.
Yep.
This
was originally Shuka, so we can guarantee live, and then we did math and said we can just live the hit anyway.
Yeah.
I thought Life Orb guaranteed the OHKO.
Life Orb does guarantee the OHKO for Dynamax.
Yeah, if we both Dynamax, we can OHKO.
Notably, this outspeeds max speed Metagross by 1. So if they Bulldoze, we're in trouble, but if they Brutal Swing with Tornadoes, which is much more popular right now, then that's usually where we'll get them.
If they Bulldoze into Quake, though, we go bye-bye.
Yeah. Suicune here is support Suicune. I have no idea what these EVs do.
Yeah,
we're just bulky.
Like you said, you stole this off of Pikalytics. Honestly, I'm not in love with this EV spread. I would rather just, like... if I'm being support Suicune with, like, Snarl Tailwind stuff, I don't need all this special attack investment, and would rather invest it more into speed, into bulk, and then, like, my Scalds are still going to do quite a bit because I am... Suicune. And, like, I'm not saying get rid of all of it, but we can cut that down to, like, 52 or whatever. Like 52 modest is still going to do. We may not even
need it. Yeah, like I don't feel like we need all the special attack.
So that might be something we consider before we start
everything built. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the thing that started all this was I wanted to play with Dragonite. I've been saying I want to play with Dragonite for like weeks now.
I have my shiny for you. I have the shiny Dragonite and the Comfey.
Puff the Magic Dragon will rise again. So, Dragonite here is a Inner Focus Physical Weakness Policy set. Adamant nature because we have Tailwind on Suicune, so if we want to go fast, we can go fast if we need to. But this way, Dragonite is just base 80.
I believe its speed is exactly 100.
Yeah.
Which I believe is base 80.
Yeah. Ironhead to just hit fairies and ice types, Dragon Claw for stab, Dual Wing Beat for stab. Notably, +2 Dual Wing Beat, +2 max air from Dual Wing Beat will OHKO Tapu Fini.
Great.
Every time.
Love it.
Comfey set here. We have just enough special attack to guarantee an OHKO on Choice Band Common Set Urshifu. Good. It will OHKO every time.
Is Common Set right now just max speed, max attack?
Yeah.
Cool.
Choice Band, get them.
Is that a roll if they have HP investment, or
it becomes a roll if they have HP investment. Suicune here, like we said, Scald, Tailwind, Snarl, Protect. Heatran has Heat Wave, Earth Power, Flash Cannon, Protect. We talked about it earlier. This could have been like one of either Nidoking or Heatran could have had Scorching Sands for burns, but it's 20 power difference.
I don't think you want it. I think you would rather just do the extra damage.
The extra damage plus special defense drops,
especially on Nidoking, where that extra oomph adds up because of sheer force.
Yeah,
like 20 points in base power adds up quite a lot when you add in sheer force.
Yeah.
So,
which Nidoking here is just like incidental coverage. It's Ice Beam, Earth Power, Sludge Bomb, and Flamethrower, so we can take out Kartanas and Celesteelas. This also helps cover against other random steel types that we may have an issue with, or ice types. Like
this also can hit stuff like the bulky grass types in the format, like Venusaur. Venusaur's ticked up in popularity here lately. I've seen quite a bit of it. That's really like the go-to Grassmon I've seen here lately. Rillaboom is another one that's important. Granted, we have Ice Beam to cover for both of those, and we have Sludge Bomb as well, which is stab. But if they are Sun with...
if they set up Sun, I'm going to hit the
Flamethrower. Yeah, exactly. If they set up Sun in front of me with Venusaur, then...
Flamethrower becomes the strongest move there.
Yeah.
And then, like we said, Rillaboom's the basic Rillaboom set. Woodhammer, Fake Out, Grassy Glide, Protect. This is just, I needed grass coverage.
Yep. And this was originally Kartana, and then we looked at it more and we were just like, does this actually accomplish anything?
No.
Like
nah. It was steel coverage and fighting coverage and air coverage, and that's all it really did. Like, and outside of Dynamax, it didn't do anything. So this Rillaboom will probably be a Gigantamax Rillaboom, just because we can Gigantamax it and just max whatever the grass move is and just blow something up sometimes. We thought about running Knockoff on here, but we decided that Fake Out is better with Rosensense. We were Assault Vest, then we went to Choice Band, now we're Rosensense. So we'll see what happens here by the time we get to actually play it in the Rumble. This Rillaboom might have changed back to Choice Band by then. But yeah, this is what I plan on playing because I now have Sunday off because work is great and they gave me the day off. I know you're
I
going to
don't.
be working.
I had to work Sundays.
So you will be sitting on the sidelines.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. But yeah, I think that's about it. Is there anything else to talk about?
I'm gonna be on with Jeff again on Tuesday night.
I was about to say, how did last Wednesday go?
The numbers were pretty comparable compared to Tuesday night. So he's like, well, with them being basically the same, I'm just gonna switch back to evenings to have all my variety stuff in the evening. I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
Just for consistency's sake?
Yep. So he reached out to me today and said, hey, do you want to come back on? I'm like, of course, man. Any time. So I'm going to be on Tuesday with him, 7 CST.
Means I could watch.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch while I was at work, so I was just like, I can't participate, sorry.
So then, probably this week and then next week as well. Probably going to just be Tuesdays at 7. And then he said at the end of the month he's going to put out a question on his sub-survey of, hey, do you all like the Pokemon content? And if so, should I keep doing it?
Yeah.
Which, he's a very numbers-driven person. He has a math background, for those who don't know. Statistics speak highly to him, so, the numbers have worked for him in the past. I'm going to continue, he's going to continue using the numbers, and I'm completely fine with that. If he's really enjoyed what we've been doing, I've absolutely loved everything I've got to do. I had a bunch of people reach out to us about it. Multiple people joining the server. Ton of YouTube subs. Watch time up for the month is up 35%.
Total views is up almost
60%, I think.
Yeah, we're getting about 1,000 every 28 days now.
It's insane. So, as long as people keep watching, keep tuning in, and keep liking the content, we're going to keep putting it out, basically.
Yep, that's the goal. We're approaching a year. It'll be a year in about 3 months.
March 9th.
Yep.
Not too bad for 9 months worth of work.
Yeah, no, compared to what the Magic Podcast was in about a year and 3 months.
Yeah, in 6 months more time, and I was kind of talking about on Discord this morning. It's like anytime we hit 20 views on an episode, that was good. That was like, all right, cool, great.
We did something. We did something right. Notably, our highest viewed episode on YouTube right now is the Series 7 Rain Team. The first episode.
Yep.
Crossed 250 plays on that one alone the other day. Which that rental code is still up. I haven't taken it down just because I know people are playing with it and just people keep trying it out.
Yeah, the Gold Duck team's still up. So if you want to go see that with what I've been playing this week, that's there. Go look at it. It's great.
We should probably start thinking about getting a website soon with our compiled of our rental codes and whatnot. I know. We're gonna do that eventually.
Oh, you man! I meant to ask Jeff about that, and I didn't. I'll have to send him a message and ask.
Or you can just ask him on Tuesday.
Yeah.
You get started.
Yeah, I'll.
Or after you get done.
I'll probably send him a message and ask. I'm sure he wouldn't mind answering that for me. I've asked him a lot of other minor things, like when we were doing the recording for the Soullocke, and we wanted to cut out game audio. No, we wanted to cut out Discord audio on the recordings, but we couldn't figure it out. So she said, "All right, screw it. We're muting this. We'll be fine." And the solution was to basically install a fake soundboard.
Yeah,
it's loop through and refeed the loop through. Yeah. I'm just like, nope. He's like, yeah, it's a bunch of extra work for literally next to no results.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah. So that's why I'm not worried about it.
Plus, now it's not going up on YouTube anyway.
Yeah, so. Now you get to catch us live Tuesday afternoons before the stream, before Jeff stream.
Yeah.
So we can actually just go and host that and whatnot, which would be great. We should probably get a conjoined Twitch channel instead of just doing separate Twitch channels. But then we have to figure out squad streaming and whatnot.
Yeah, I'm honestly fine with having separate.
Well, they stay separate, but the squad thing—that's what I want to start looking into.
I think you have to be partner for squads,
which we got a long way to go for that one.
Yep.
We just need to start streaming more. That's the goal.
That's literally the goal.
We just quit our jobs and start streaming. That's the goal.
Look, man, Tiff has already given me permission when this starts paying me as much as my job does, I can.
Oh, yeah. No, I bet my wife would say the same thing.
Till then, y'all are stuck with me working 4 days a week.
I work 5 to 6 days a week, so.
I got a whole lot of nothing else, man. We sat here and rambled at the end for
a minute or two.
Yeah, probably a little longer.
No, actually, no. No, it's only been about a minute or two.
Oh. Well, I've rambled way longer than that. I've rambled for like an hour.
I kind of just sat here and listened. I think that's it. Get us on out of here.
So, thank you all always for listening, watching, all that good stuff. If you're listening on YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications when new stuff goes live. Pound that like button, and leave us a comment down below of if you're going to be playing in the Rumble, what you played, how well you did, all that good stuff. And more importantly, if you're not listening on YouTube, make sure you go ahead and drop that over onto the YouTube as well. We have all kinds of great content going up most days of the week.
Currently, we have laddering on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. We don't have anything up on Wednesday or Friday because we don't have any other content coming out right now, which we're looking at fixing eventually, maybe.
Yeah, we'll figure that out when Draft League comes back up.
Let's Play comes out on Sunday. Episodes come out on Monday at 9 a.m. I've been playing around with when we upload ladderings, and the morning episodes tend to be doing better than what the afternoon episodes did, for sure.
Sure.
I think it's more like they get an extra time during the day to watch it, or somebody at work, they like to see it and then go watch it at work on a break or something, which is great. So, I know that's what I do when I'm just not doing anything. I'll put my earbud in and I'll turn on the whatever video and I'll just walk away. And I can just listen to it and don't have to actually watch it.
I'll do it in the car. I watch a lot of YouTube in the car. It's probably frowned upon.
I'm about to say, that's probably not the safest thing to do.
My drive to work, I usually watch whatever Aaron Zeng has uploaded for the day. My drive home is usually some type of Frank Laporte cube video that I've just found. Or just random Pokemon TCG stuff. Just, whatever.
The fun thing is, my morning prep, like my morning times when I go and open, I'll put on Pokesports when it comes on. And I'll listen to whatever team they worked on and whatever they played. I haven't watched today's, which is a Tyrantrum team. I really wanted to watch it.
Color me intrigued.
But I wasn't home, so I didn't watch it because we were in the city all day. But yeah, that's kind of what I do in my mornings. I'll do that, and then in the afternoons, if Jeff is still on, I'll go and watch Jeff play Runeterra for a couple hours if I'm prepping. Sometimes I'll go and watch. I'll go back and watch VODs from either ATX or Pokesports and watch those.
That's usually what I do on my drive at work, is I'll just throw those on. I do a lot of driving for work, in all actuality.
I don't.
a good probably, I have, depending on the day, anywhere from a 30 to 45 minute commute. And then I drive probably an extra 2 hours at work. So, just a little bit of driving. Just a little. Compared to how much work I actually do.
We got sidetracked again.
It's whatever, man. It happens a lot.
Where were we on the outro? We covered YouTube.
I think we literally covered YouTube.
Okay, get the rest of them done so we can get out of here.
If you're new, go ahead and follow us all on Twitter. That's at LR Lessons. Myself at Cardinal25. Carl is at musical_33. Carl and I mentioned it earlier. We're both on Twitch. You can find us usually on Tuesdays for the foreseeable future playing our Soullocke, our Heart Gold Soullocke. I am at Mrs. Missouri 25. Carl is at Musical.
We didn't even talk about your party wipe.
I don't want to talk about it.
I want to talk about it.
Oh no, it's so late. We gotta get out of here.
I wanna let you know, if you want to go actually see a run back, go watch the VODs on my side, because I beat Bugsy, emulator glitched out, I had to go back to Sprout Tower, I went back, beat Faulkner in 3 minutes, and on my way back to beat Bugsy to catch up, Carter over here party wipes.
Look, man.
Loses all my Pokemon.
Look. Here's what happened. Bugsy's scary.
You got greedy.
I wanted to outspeed the Scyther.
You don't have to worry about it. It sets up Leer.
Yeah.
It sets up Leer. You hit it with a Rock Throw. You put it in Citrus Berry. It sets up another one. You hit it with another Rock Throw. It's done.
I realize that now that I'm dead.
If you asked me, I could tell you.
I didn't know.
That's the point of the Soullocke, is we can help each other.
No!
Well, anyway, I end up beating Bugsy again. You still haven't beat Bugsy.
I am nowhere near Bugsy.
I beat Bugsy twice. I beat the rival. I'm through the Ilex Forest, and I'm waiting for you at the station outside Ilex.
I'm nowhere near that.
No.
My team is garbage right now. I'm currently training up a Slugma I got from the Egg in Violet City.
I got a Poliwag there.
Yeah, you got Poliwag. You also got Magikarp in the cave. I didn't. I got the 15% Goldeen instead.
It's not bad.
Which means I couldn't go for Poliwag.
Goldeen's still fine. He has Egg.
Goldeen's fine. I went back to Cherry Grove and got Magikarp there. So now I have Magikarp, Goldeen, Slowpoke, Slugma, and something else. Like, one or two Mons more, and I can't remember what they are because they're probably not good. It's like, man, I really need to train, but, like, the stuff that I can train against is, like, Bellsprouts. And those are all terrifying, because I can't do anything to them. Because all I know is Vine Whip.
My team is a Bellsprout, a Flaffy, a Poliwag, a Togepi, and then I have 2 slots open still.
I have Gus. I have Gus the Rattata.
Gus.
Which is not good, because he has Runaway.
I caught a Rattata. It was kind of forced, because it was the only Pokemon left on that route, besides Hoppip. Mine managed to be
Guts.
I
have Hoppip, too. That's my other one.
Mine managed to be Guts, which I'm very happy for.
So I'm probably going to drop Slowpoke for now, and have Hoppip, just to get some levels on it.
I need a Fire type.
Should have took the Slugma.
Nah, I wanted the Poliwag.
The problem is I'm not going to be able to evolve Slugma until way later. So it's not going to be evolved for Whitney, so it can't resist the rollouts. So I really don't have a good answer to Whitney right now. Probably just
you
Slowpoke.
won't resist the rollouts with
it would
Cargo.
be neutral.
Yeah, it'd be
but
neutral. You'd still
neutral
take
is
a
better
chunk.
than super effective.
Yeah. I don't think I'm too worried about Whitney rollouts. I think I just set up a Thunder Wave and...
Yeah, I don't have that option.
I do.
So, I get Encounter in Forest, I get one in Azalea Town once I get Headbutt. And then I get... I'm probably going to save my Encounter in Goldenrod for Eevee. But I don't know what evolution I want. Probably Umbreon, to be 100% honest.
Umbreon's really good. Espeon's okay.
We get that route north of the forest. We get National Park, the route south of it, the route east of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's... I mean, there's
a bunch of encounters coming up.
The problem is like, there's nothing that I can reasonably deal with normal types.
Not yet, anyway.
I think there's a trade Drowsy for Machop.
There is.
So if I can get a Drowsy, we could be good.
I believe nighttime on the route where the daycare is at gets you an increased chance for Drowsy.
I could also take the egg from the daycare. No, there is no egg. There is no egg.
There is no odd egg. It's not crystal.
Yeah. I don't know. I had to make it that far.
Yeah, you gotta get there first. Are you gonna party wipe again on us?
No.
You hope not.
Because if we do, we're actually dead.
I'll have more encounters by then.
I won't.
Yeah, you'll just be stuck.
Isn't the point of this is if one of us dies, the other dies too?
Usually that's how it works, yeah. But, there's situations where I get an encounter, you missed an encounter, then I'm up an encounter.
Which, that hasn't happened yet. But
no.
Because you're ahead of me, it makes things awkward.
That's why I stopped. I'm waiting for you to catch up and grind. I
need to grind tomorrow. This is probably what I'm going to do is record the laddering, record the Let's Play, grind, and get everything up to Bugsy. And then start Tuesday off by fighting Bugsy.
Yeah. Where I'm just going to sit and wait patiently.
Yeah, you're going to sit there and talk to me while I lose to Bugsy again.
Probably. Watch the entire team I worked so hard to get through Bugsy again get wiped again.
The problem is, I really don't have anything for it. I have Goldeen and Slugma.
I had a Flaffy. an extra sensory on Eggy.
Which Eggy did work. I got to catch that.
Yeah, Eggy blew up a Kakuna. Yeah, I think that's it. Now we're done.
Now we're actually done. We could have been done like 20 minutes ago, but we sat here and rambled. It felt like
we had to talk about our Nuzlocke.
We had to talk about a bunch of things.
We did Twitter, did Twitch, did YouTube.
Yep.
Did we do Discord plug yet?
No, make sure you come and join the community Discord or I'll be sad, and you don't like that.
That's how you get to do all the fun rumbles with us, and how you get to represent LRL and eventually more Pokepod Cups from here on out.
And draft leagues, when those start back up at the first of the year.
We'll have an episode probably dedicated to how the draft league is going to work.
Yeah, draft league's going to be great. I'm so excited.
We're taking some cues out of the WBE's draft book and
amplifying it.
Kind of just improving on it with our formats.
Amplifying it by Ubers.
Yeah. Multiplied by Uber. Which that'll be a lot of fun.
Dude, I know a lot of people are excited for it.
We're gonna probably have to have 2 pods.
Yeah, I'm legitimately feeling 2 pods for this.
We're limited. Each pod is I think we're limited to 20 to 24.
Because the problem is that's a lot of people.
That's even numbers, which is what I want.
Yeah,
but there's a bunch of people. But we easily filled one of those last time, and we've grown since the start of the Mono League. So,
and Mono League, we almost filled 2 16s.
Yeah.
So
if we can get evenly split up into a 16 and a 16, or a 20 and a 20.
If we can do 2 16s, I'd be happy. Just because that makes bracket math super easy.
Yeah. 2 20s is also fine because that, again, it's easier bracket math. 2 24s is another fine number.
Which that's real pushing it. But
24 is about the limit.
Yeah, it'd be pushing
because
it. Because
then it's we're running out of Ubers.
Yeah. We also need to make sure we have enough Gmaxes too. That's the other important number.
With the Galarian starters, I think there's 22 to 24.
I think we need to make sure that those numbers line up.
Yeah. That'll determine the size of our pods.
Obviously, we're ignoring Eevee and Pikachu and Meowth because those are just not playable.
Yeah.
Pikachu might be.
Pikachu's actually playable. For real, the Pikachu one's actually playable. In Draft League formats.
Compared to the other two, it isn't. It is, but
Meowth is the story mode killer. It just makes you money and KOs everything.
Outside of that, not so much.
It doesn't do anything outside of that.
Yeah, but we don't need it to.
Eevee is weird.
Eevee's cute.
He's this giant cute charm.
It's cute. But yeah, I think it's about time we get on out of here.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
So, have a good one, everybody. We'll be back next week. Have a good one. Peace.